Studio production begins in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Erica Joseph, President at the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore, and thanks for joining me to learn a little more about some of the wonderful things happening in our community. I always love the chance to highlight other nonprofit partners, but today I have the privilege of highlighting some of our programs and services at the Community Foundation. I'm joined by our Program Director, Heather Mahler, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of the opportunities to support nonprofits, to learn more about the foundation, and how we help sort of lift the tide, rising tide for all organizations on the Lower Shore. Thanks for joining me, Heather.
Thanks for having me.
So we have the privilege at the foundation of being able to learn about so many wonderful programs and services. Talk a little bit about your role as the program director and how we reach out into the community.
Okay. Well, like you said, we're very privileged to be able to serve over 400 nonprofits and other charities in our local area. I always say it's a blessing. That's the best part of my job, that I get to interface with them. And so we help connect donors to the needs of those nonprofits through a variety of support programs.
And we work with, you mentioned it was over 400 last year, and that is a very diverse audience of nonprofit partners serving real needs in our community. Talk a little bit about some of the different missions and focus areas that we get to see.
Right. So you're right. It's very diverse. There's every sort of nonprofit program, from the ones that we see every day, the human needs programs that feed people, that clothe people, that offer counseling services, to education-based programs that help our youth meet their needs and the goals of their education programs, to groups that protect the environment, and then arts. Arts is another popular nonprofit in our area, nonprofit model. So you would bring arts to the public that doesn't necessarily get to access them on a regular basis.
And it really sort of helps keep us engaged because we get to see all of these different needs, from sort of the critical human services all the way to the spectrum of arts and culture, which are just as important and help to make a fulfilling community. We tend to sort of have a few different ways that we work with our nonprofit partners. Share a little bit about what those primary areas are.
Yep, so we have three major areas that we offer support in for nonprofits. We have the first thing that we do, of course, is as philanthropy experts, is manage endowments. So we offer endowment services to nonprofits. We have about 80 nonprofit partners right now that have funds with us, which is a wonderful opportunity for them and us to work together on initiatives. We also offer nonprofit training programs in our local area. Usually free, occasionally low cost if we have to bring in an external presenter, but we concentrate on topics that all nonprofit staff need to be successful in delivering their programs every day. And then we have grant making programs, of course, and that's one of the biggest ways we interact with the community.
And each year, through the various programs that you direct, we're distributing nearly $400,000 through a variety of small and medium grant amounts, which is, it's often surprising. The foundation overall distributes about $5 million each year, but a lot of our grants are very modest, but they're still valuable and important to the organizations. Talk a little bit about a couple of our grant programs, and I know that there are some deadlines coming up later this summer.
Sure, there are. One of the best things about being able to offer so many different grant programs is that we can really help that impact, whether it's in education or arts. And so some of the cycles that we have coming up this summer in August are our education grant cycle, which supports pre-K to 12th grade classrooms and school systems to be able to enhance individual classroom curriculum or address across school needs. And so that is a really exciting program that we get to interface with teachers and administrators across the Tri-County area. That has a deadline in August. And then we have a more general focused, broad program called Community Needs, which is also open in August.
And for anyone who wants to learn how to access some of those grants or learn more about, we have a variety of information sessions that we schedule in advance how do they connect with you and online with the foundation?
They can visit our website at www.cfes.org. They could always call our office, 410-742-9911. And for really on-the-go people, they can email me, M as in Mary, AHLER@cfes.org. And, there's a lot of different ways you can interface with us. You could even stop by our office. We're right here in Salisbury on the east side of town. We do welcome that interaction of just popping in one day. It's sometimes better if you make an appointment or call, but we're happy to see anyone any day of the week. So that would probably be all the different ways that you could contact us.
Excellent. And you mentioned that one of our key roles is as a grant maker, helping organizations access those funds that have been entrusted at the foundation. So every endowment that's at the community foundation, its goal is to distribute those funds each year to eligible nonprofits. And we are getting ready to roll out, which is very exciting for us and the partners we serve, a new way of managing all of those grants processes, and you've been working diligently on that. Talk to me a little bit about what this will mean for how we are able to connect with nonprofits and identify those needs in the community.
Yeah, what we're transitioning to is a partnership with a cloud-based grants management software called Community Force. It's kind of a 21st century approach to grant making, which many of our partners and peers have transitioned over to in the past 5 to 10 years. Our community foundation has taken our time to make sure that we were prepared and that we had the right solution. But we are in the process of implementation, and we are excited about it. What it's going to offer our partners is a secure online portal where they can administer the grant application process all the way through to the funding award acceptance. So everything will be done in this secure portal, and the communication will be streamlined. There'll be less paper, so it'll be more eco-friendly for our environment. I think it's going to be really exciting.
And evaluation is an important piece of what we work on with all of our grants programs. And tell me a little bit about how having that opportunity to have, sort of an electronic format rather than all the paper will help us implement that evaluation more effectively.
Yeah, that's a good point. Evaluation and analysis of data is challenging when you're working on paper. If you've ever done any analysis in your own home of your budget and your accounts at home, you realize that shuffling all of the papers around is somewhat problematic. And it also is hard for nonprofits, I think, and charities to have to have their original goals and applications on one hand and then another report form on a different hand, and to align those. So in this software solution, people will be tied directly back to the goals and measures that they submitted in their application, and easily be able to look at them side by side with some new evaluative sort of documents. And then for the foundation, the benefit for us is that we can measure data across all of our grant programs. So we will be able to more effectively implement future funding cycles and address those needs.
And we talk about, nonprofits and grant cycles and grant programs, but these are real services that are happening in the community that many people viewing our program today might have participated in or have benefited from in some way. Do you have any recent examples of programs that have been supported by the foundation, just to help people have an image of what that means?
Yeah, actually we have something coming up pretty soon that I could talk about a little bit. We were able to support the Salisbury University Foundation and partner with our local United Way to stimulate a volunteer service engagement project in our area. And so for Earth Day this year, which is April 22nd, the three of us partners are promoting nonprofit projects in our area that are making impact that day. So we have about a dozen projects right now registered that we're helping connect volunteers to, and sort of offering some additional marketing assistance and support.
And how would they get involved with that? So it's called the Be the Difference Day?
It is. It's called the Be the Difference Day, and the Online registration is on United Way's website, who is our local volunteer services agency, and they have a platform called Get Connected, which many people in our area are experienced with. But if not, you can just visit the United Way of Lower Eastern Shore and you will see the Get Connected logo on the main website.
And there are a lot of different projects. I know our own staff is participating in one to do some cleanup and some trash collection, always beautification being important to community, but there are some other projects that, will have a different take. So can you give me some examples?
There are some youth agencies in our area. Many of the agencies that serve youth really need a hand up with the different needs and within their nonprofits. So we actually have things even as simple as coming into a nonprofit's office and helping them spruce up their office. If you prefer to be inside and not doing an outdoor project, you could support a nonprofit by helping spruce up an office or move around.
Or cleaning.
Yeah, painting or moving furniture. We have some youth projects serving that weekend at other events in the community, like Pork in the Park is that weekend. One of our 1 Year to Empowerment is the name of the organization. They're actually going to be at that event doing some education and activities, and they're accepting volunteers to help with that.
Excellent. So a great partnership between a number of organizations, but then also that spreading the word of ways to do something short term. It's just that one day, but to certainly have a good opportunity to be the difference for an organization or a group of people. So excellent. Now, back at the beginning of the program, you had mentioned that we also work with local organizations on capacity building efforts. So we all need professional development. All of our organizations are businesses. We are working to meet a variety of needs on a regular basis, and we try to help with our technical assistance, our training programs, and our nonprofit resource center. We have a few programs coming up, but before we talk about those, I want to remind viewers that we always have a schedule of events. So if you happen to miss these, you can catch some others on our website because there's always a variety of programs. What's coming up in the near future?
Well, thanks for asking. One of the things that's coming up in April, actually on the 13th, is a statistics workshop. We've been talking a lot about grant programs and impact, and it's hard to speak to funders without putting some data along with your impact narrative. And so we are going to help nonprofits by bringing in the U.S. Census Bureau's data dissemination team. They're really great at analyzing data and getting into the tools available on that website. And then we also have United Way's Amy Luppins coming in to talk about the new Maryland Alice report, which they have just released nationwide to look at some of the household poverty information in our area. So we're excited to be able to, offer a free workshop that can get people right online to look at census tools and learn a little more about the Maryland Alice report.
And statistics, often doesn't sound that exciting or something that you would want to focus on in the nonprofit sector, but so many are grant funded. And with the competitive nature of those programs, really being able to state not only a compelling narrative, but and real stories, but also the facts and figures to really back that up. We have you had mentioned our Community Force online portal. I would expect that you'll have some opportunities for community members working with organizations to learn how to use that before grants are due.
Yes, please stay tuned. We are currently scheduling public workshops and sort of advanced training schedule for June. So coming this June, we will have multiple sessions that our partners can come visit us and learn about the software and how to start interacting through it. It does go live in July this year, so July 1st, 2017, it will go live. So we'll have some pre-sessions in June.
Wonderful. And that'll be of particular importance to those teachers and school administrators who can apply for the education grants in August, and also for that first round of community needs grants that'll also be due in that time frame.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up for today, are there other things that you want to make sure to share with viewers or with our many nonprofit friends that might be seeing us at this time?
Well, I think that one thing that I'm continually thinking about is additional outreach in the community. We know we have a lot of current partners and we know what's going on in the areas right around us. But we serve the Tri-County area, which geographically goes out pretty far. And so I'm always looking for additional partners and doing outreach in other counties. Worcester, Wacomico, Somerset is our area. I would encourage groups that are aware of us but have peers that don't know us to please connect them to us, to pass along an email or a note that connects them to me. I would love
invite
to
us.
come out. Yes, I would love to come out to those communities and meet other charities and different staff and just let them know, what we do. We can't. We might have the donors and some of the funding to connect to nonprofits, but they're the ones that do all of the hard work and make the impact. And so it's a relationship that we have to build together.
Yeah.
And so I'm always looking for additional help in that area.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for your time and for sharing that information. There'll be a lot more to come on a lot of those topics, and we encourage anyone in the community who wants to know more about the Community Foundation to visit us at www.cfes.org. I'll wrap up today with a special thanks to our nonprofit partner, PAC 14. Heather mentioned the value to us for outreach, and PAC 14 is a tremendous partner, does wonderful work in the community for us and for so many nonprofit organizations. So with that, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.